Hey there folks, and welcome to this video. This one here is a general note to those of you unaware of what that content is on this channel. It's where I sit down at the start of every week, talk about things looking back, looking forward. Why I did it that way, I have no idea. And talk about things that are on my mind. Specifically, if you're looking for that thing from the video, description down below, there's a timestamp. But yeah, I think one of the big things that I want to talk about, and I'll be talking about this outside of talking about the main talking point, I might refer back to it later, is my decisions yesterday. So, for those of you who aren't aware, there was a massive crash in Formula 1 involving Romain Grosjean, and he was taken to hospital. And a lot of people who I have a lot of respect for doing this decided not to do any F1 related content for the day. I put out 2 F1 videos yesterday. The first one came out as the crash happened, which was it was the drivers kneeling ahead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And I did do some review. I call it a reflection because it's not the actual review. I'll probably do that tomorrow. But I did do a kind of review for the Grand Prix. But I was like, I don't really think it's a good way to be talking upbeat right now because I just thought I saw a driver die. And a driver like Grosjean that I have a lot of respect for as a driver and as a person. But yeah, I wasn't going to do upbeat content. I wasn't going to pretend like it didn't happen. But at the same time, I made it clear that I wasn't going to be doing any kind of farming for views. I wasn't going to be trying to make light of the situation. Because that kind of stuff is stuff that you can do with people who you are insulated around. But it was a time for us to be serious. I mean, I'm someone who talks about F1 safety. I'm someone who was the champion of the Halo as it was coming in. And I just can't be... I can't be, like, trying to be upbeat in that. At the same time, I can't bring myself to go, oh, I'll make a thumbnail of a burning Haas car, because... No. That was terrifying. I can only imagine what it was like for, as in yesterday's video, those around Romain. His friends, his family, his co-workers, teammates. Like, it was terrifying for us to see, but Christ, for so many more people it would be... I don't even want to think about it. But yeah, I just want to say, I did those videos. Stand by it. Because I wasn't trying to do anything to profit off of any kind of disaster, and I wasn't doing anything to try and go make a big deal out of it. Or at least in a way that I felt was inappropriate. So hopefully that clears up my reasoning for doing that. But look at the rest of the content. Really good turnout on my content this week. I was quite happy with some of the stuff I was doing, even if at some points like I really should have been doing more. But I've been enjoying myself with content creation, really, and that's the thing that's close to me. I have a nice community around me. You all who watch these videos are really lovely people who subscribe and give positive environments for other people to be in. And yeah, that's kind of a big deal for me that that's around. Looking forward to this week. We've got the final round of the WRC. We've got the Sakir Grand Prix. We've got the final round of ILMS Spa. Don't know if I'm going to be taking part in that yet. The end, of course, like a song of the week as well. And now I want to talk about my kind of topic for the day, which is about F1 broadcasting serious or even fatal accidents, incidents, crashes, however you want to say it. Because, I mean, Daniel Ricciardo, when interviewed, and he was interviewed by Lawrence Beretta, I think, so it was for F1, let people know his anger at the constantly broadcasting the crash during the red flag period. And, like, firstly, I have to say, FOM were respectful in that they didn't show the crash until they knew Grosjean was out the car and his injuries seemed minor. As soon as that happened, they were like, yep, we can show it. But when they were showing it constantly, no. I'm not even thinking about the impact out on the drivers. The impact out on the drivers is horrible. Especially if they're phased enough to think that they're not going to be able to get back into a car to race. I'm thinking of it from the aspect of the fans. Like, it almost desensitizes you to this kind of thing, and that shouldn't happen. This is not a way of normality. Well, motorsport should not be something where you're risking your life. The phrase is, motorsport can be dangerous. Not motorsport will be dangerous. So, that's where I go with it. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to keep broadcasting fatal accidents or incidents. Massive crashes. I watched them a lot when I was a kid. That's gruesome. That was what I could see on the internet as a kid. Luckily, some regulators have been brought in to try and prevent kids from literally watching somebody die. Still, I'd say more needs to be done. That comes on the end of FOM and any kind of broadcasters. That doesn't need to come on the end of any kind of regulation. The thing is, there's going to be a whole thing in Drive to Survive about it. That's going to be glorified and so on. Just like in the documentary about driver safety a couple of years ago, it showed Bianchi's crash, Weldon's crash, I think Senna and Ratzenberger's. Not on. Really isn't. But that's my thoughts. I think it's important for us to be able to properly go in and digest it and go, okay, this is why this happened. That is important to everything. It's important to understand why safety is the way it is and how safety can improve and how safety is not as safe as we think it is. That's all important. But there are other problems associated with it, which are ones that we kind of have to think about. And it's weird to think of F1 an organisation as something that has a moral duty, but I think it does. But those are my thoughts. I understand some of you may disagree. But thank you for watching, thank you for joining, and hopefully I'll see you around. Bye for now.